you doing? I hope you're really well, okay? I wanted to just make something for you that is on a subject that's pretty close to my heart because it's something that I've struggled with, wrestled with, thought I was getting on top of, and then it's like, oh no, I'm lost again. And the subject is social media and where to really put your energy in 2020. As I'm making this now, we're at the kind of midpoint of May 2020 with everything that's been going on this year, with all of that in mind. And really, I'm narrowing it down to two competitors now, two heavy hitters, TikTok and YouTube. So if you're watching this and you are thinking you are just starting out on your social media journey, this will be relevant for you. If you're not sure about which platform is best for you, this will be relevant. I am going to be biased towards people who look like me because I think we have our own extra kind of next level of consideration. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but that's my position. So just straight off the bat, I will be bringing that in. So but yeah, I guess I'm also making this because I'm realizing I'm not seeing anything that's super up to date. I noticed that someone who'd made a video, I think, on this theme had kind of made the video 4 years ago and then just changed the title, which I think is a bit disingenuous. I don't like. Let's get into this video, okay? So pros and cons, TikTok or YouTube. So let's look at some pros and cons. I won't go into great depth because I think after a while you just get lost. You know, when I was doing this recently on another theme and looking at pros and cons, and after a while your head just starts to spin. So I'm going to try and keep this really simple and fairly short. It will be a useful springboard for you, I hope, okay? Okay, let's start with some positives. Okay, so I think one thing that they both have in common, both YouTube and TikTok, is that they reward consistency. And this is something that some of the bigger YouTubers, for example, will talk about for newbies or people like, you know, like me, like maybe you watching a small creator. You've got to be consistent. And on TikTok and YouTube, that consistency is definitely rewarded. So are there any caveats to that? I think the thing when this is coming on to some of the cons, right? The thing is with YouTube, I think it's all good and well for big, you know, more accomplished content creators saying, you know, you got to be consistent. You can't expect results straight away. All of that common sense stuff, of course, it's true. However, in this day and age, in my view, and many other small content creators are saying this on YouTube, it's a different world. If you started your channel, I mean, I think I started my channel in 2009, and I made mistakes. I did things that, you know, if I could go back in time, I probably would change. But, you know, we don't all have the same kind of luck. And it also, you know, depends on the content that you're creating. If you're doing kind of popular content, which is beauty, fashion, hair and makeup, money stuff, there's going to be some others, but those are the ones that generally a lot of people are going to be interested in. But if you're doing anything other than that, I mean, yoga would be another one. But again, I think we're so spoiled now in this kind of media, image-driven culture that we live in. We're so used to seeing high quality images that if you can't get it good, you know, your shots, and, you know, if you're doing yoga, like I'm a yoga teacher and I've done yoga videos in the past, and to be honest, they're really not great quality, but it's about the substance, and that does count for something. I've got, you know, one of my most popular videos has got 10,000 views. I don't know how it amassed that many, and that's nothing to some of you guys maybe even watching this, but for me that's a pretty decent number. And the quality isn't amazing, but I guess I must have picked up on a subject. I think it was for beginners. I'm not actually sure. Maybe I'll try and add a link below, but you'll see if you watch it, you'll be like, maybe you won't see the attraction, but a lot of people have liked that video. So I think that's the thing to keep in mind, that yes, consistency is rewarded on both TikTok and YouTube. But when you're a new creator starting in 2020, you know, it's like swimming, with the current coming at you, you know, with the waves and everything coming, you know, kind of good luck getting stuff seen. Certainly I know engagement pods are really popular on this app and many others, But I guess that's just something to keep in mind, that YouTube is, the algorithm, in my view, and not just my view, many other small creators' view, is very unforgiving for small content creators. Whereas TikTok now, you can get on TikTok, and I don't know actually, because I've been on TikTok now for probably about, I don't know what, 4 months, 5 months. So I've had a chance to build a bit of momentum. And so I don't know if you joined today, if you would have the exact same experience as me, but I have a sense that it's still, because I've watched like other people who have hopped on who maybe look like me, or even if they're not creating the same content, but similar, and I can see their numbers going up and up and up as well. So it's a much more forgiving algorithm for everyone. Compared to YouTube. Let's just be clear that I'm comparing it to YouTube. I mean, you couldn't really get any more unforgiving in my view. But you know, that is just my perspective. You might have had, I'd love to hear, if you are a Black creator and you have joined YouTube recently and you're doing really well, please let us know what your secrets are, because or make content like this. share the knowledge. So yeah, I think that those are a couple of things to keep in mind. Okay. One of the problems with TikTok is that, and this is information that is widely available, it's not just coming out of my mouth. There are videos right here on YouTube detailing some of the bias that the app has engaged with, according to TikTok, to my knowledge, and this is the best of my knowledge. This may not be absolutely 100% correct, but my understanding is that the information that was leaked about the things that they were doing to restrict people they didn't deem worthy to be seen, the content of theirs that they didn't feel it was worthy to be seen. They said that that's in the past, we don't do that anymore. I believe that's their official line. However, if you want to kind of be a bit like freaked out, it's like, well, I was anyway, I don't know, but I found it pretty horrifying. And this was, there were YouTube videos all about this, right here, about how, the app was restricting people they deemed ugly or old, wrinkled, anyone with a background that they felt suggested poverty, cracks in the wall. So basically on TikTok, if you're not aware, there's something called the For You page. And, you kind of are reliant on TikTok putting your content on the For You page of people whose interests kind of are similar to what you are offering. And if you don't get that opportunity to be on someone's For You page, then obviously your content isn't seen and your numbers are low. And you probably, again, that consistency will be rewarded eventually, but I think it can be very disheartening and it kind of makes sense now. I mean, the other factor that wasn't listed in the information that was leaked apparently was the racial bias, and that is a really well-known phenomenon by now at this point. As I say, in May 2020, there's whole movements on TikTok around, I mean, there's even now Black TikTok, just like Black Twitter, and that's been born out of people's frustration. And no matter what you feel about this, and people have really strong opinions, usually people who don't look like us are very quick to say everything. You make everything about race, and it's you're being racist and all sorts of stuff. So if that's your opinion, that's fine, but I don't share it. Okay, so and neither do hundreds, if not millions, of other Black people who have become very aware that, again, this For You page also has another bias, which is that most of the people on there, you'll notice there's a massive bias towards white faces. And actually there was a little bit of information in that leaked data rather, about that. The boys all have a certain look and the girls all have a certain look. The thing that was the elephant in the room, that the person making this content on YouTube, speaking of this kind of scandal really, it was the racial element, which is very obvious as well, and very obvious in his example actually. So I won't tag it, but if you want to do a bit of your own digging, a bit of your own homework, then by all means do. And I'm saying it because, again, this is something that you may find is frustrating, and you think, I wonder why. And I have actually made another video. I think I made 1 or 2 videos about is TikTok racist, going into more depth on that if you're interested, and I will try and link below for that if you are curious to find out more. I think, another perspective on that, of course there are black creators on TikTok, there are black creators on TikTok, don't get me wrong here, there are black creators on TikTok doing amazingly well. I think the problem I have with it is that I'm a researcher, I'm a psychoanalyst, I notice patterns, I notice things, and I'm very observant and very careful when I decide to kind of look into something, and that doesn't mean that I'm right, but it just means that I do kind of have a bit of a background for being able to delve into things and analyze data, analyze what I'm saying here. But I think the thing that I've become aware of, particularly on TikTok, is what's in my head is that, we're allowed to be certain things and we're not allowed to be others, right? So if you're a comedian, if you are exceptionally beautiful, if you are light-skinned, these are things that are going to go in your favor. That's male, female, doesn't matter. So of course there are black creators who fall into certain categories that are doing really well on TikTok. But some of us who aren't those things, who haven't got our boobies out necessarily all the time, not that I have anything wrong with that. If you want to shake it all about, that's absolutely fine. But so some of that won't be so well received or it won't be given that same fair, it just doesn't seem quite equitable. But nonetheless, that shouldn't really put you off. And ultimately, I think in life, we do have to just taste and see for ourselves. So if you're watching this and you do look like me and you're thinking, oh, I was going to join TikTok, now I won't. Please don't. Just go on it and see. I think I'm just sharing this as kind of in the moment data that I'm getting right now. They could change stuff. And they, in fairness to TikTok, they kind of made indications that as if they were making strides towards progress. For example, they had an amazing event a while back for black creators, which was, now the name escapes me. Anyway, I've spoken about it more in my other video on this theme. So if you want to really delve into that, you can. But the point is, I kind of want to give that balanced view, because of course there are black people on TikTok doing really well. There are. I think what's disheartening is that sometimes if you look at the numbers between similar content creators and the only difference is skin color, is quite alarming in a way. It's quite shocking to see the numbers and to see that difference. And so that can be disheartening. And in a way, this is really just a bit of a heads up for you. If you were thinking about TikTok, go for it, do it, be consistent, create the best content that you can, put yourself forward, do whatever you want to do. And see what happens. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. And I do think that one thing that TikTok maybe, because, I have to be careful what I say here, but I think that they have eyes and ears, and I understand there's some link now that they're making with YouTube, and certainly there's some weird things that happen when I go onto YouTube and I do certain searches and I go onto TikTok and I see they're showing me exactly what I was looking for on YouTube. I don't know how any of this works. I don't know about the connections and the relationship between the two, but it's interesting, let's put it that way. So that means that they're listening. Maybe in more ways than one. I actually, I think, was it the Snowden, the kind of the reveal that when we learned about, the capacity that the Secret Service have to kind of intercept our phones and switch them on and do certain things with them, that technology exists. And I think for me, a lot of people have argued that for that very reason, the data issues are the reason why they would never go on TikTok. And I get it. It's kind of creepy, isn't it, to think that they're using your data, or they're even doing more advanced stuff and kind of eavesdropping in some way. But you could argue that Facebook have done that. This isn't new. I think from my perspective, I just think I'm not doing anything wrong. If they really want to look into my private life, probably like a soap opera for them, but there's nothing, I don't care really. But it's still creepy, and it's still, anything like that is worthy of investigation if that were true. I'm speaking in the hypothetical here because I don't know, except, as I've said, my personal experience of being on YouTube or Google or whatever, searching for certain things, and then they're on my For You page. I don't know what that's about, but take that how you will. So the other thing to bear in mind with TikTok versus YouTube is that I have found recently with TikTok that they are censoring a lot. They're censoring a hell of a lot, and not just swear words and things that you think, okay, yeah, they should censor this. They're censoring even your comments, anything really, anything and everything. And you know, if you ever want to check out my profile on TikTok, you'll see that my profile, my content is pretty wholesome. I'm not doing nudity, I'm not doing anything, the red flag stuff. However, they're still censoring. They're censoring everything, whatever they feel like. So in other words, it often feels like your account is not really your own. And that is a problem. I don't think this is such an issue on YouTube. I've never felt like, I feel like when comments come through and they seem to be spam and YouTube remove them, you can see them on your account at the back end, can't you? Whereas with TikTok, they will just remove it and you will never know that that person replied. You just won't see it. And that could be anything where they've questioned you or they said, oh, this is crappy content. I mean, yeah, they're trying to kind of keep it clean and all of that. But it's a step too far. It's way, way too far. But I think that is the internet we're seeing now, that, and a lot of people are picking up on this and thinking, it's quite nice to show people only what we want, to kind of restrict and to censor. This is the way of the world right now. But it is something to be aware of. The future is now in terms of TikTok. That is already happening. And if you're not comfortable with that, then I would say really think carefully about that. But I hope that gives you a bit of an overview. Maybe, you know, like and comment for part 2 if you want more, because I have amassed a wealth of information, and so much so that I'm actually thinking about writing a book on this stuff, because it's fascinating to me. And as I say, I love research. I love research and I hate it because it's hard work if you're doing it seriously, like I did for my master's degree. But in terms of just gathering data and noticing patterns, is quite fascinating to me. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you want a bit more on that. And just finally, I am thinking about doing Patricia Bright's course. So yeah, subscribe. If you want me to do that and review it, then subscribe to my channel. Let me know you subscribe because of that, because you want that content, and I will hopefully deliver that to you. But yeah, so my friends, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Kia ora.